Hello, today I am going to talk about belly fat. You guys know what belly fat causes? Belly fat causes a lot of trouble. Belly fat causes diabetes. Belly fat causes a lot of stuff. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. So if you like this video, after this video, you can give it thumbs up, share to all areas, share it out, share this video out to educate people. There's something that we call some of the food that helps us with belly fat. I'm going to group them in three. Or number one, we're going to talk about the raw food, the whole food, the food that makes us um, lose fat quick, the food that you guys know, fast storage, food fast storage when cooked leads to metabolism problem. That's how you digest food when it's cooked. The raw one digest. Number one is, let's be focused, number one is all the raw food. That's what we call whole food. Whole foods are the raw food, food that was never altered, food that nothing was added and nothing was subtracted, no sugar added, no preservative. That's why we call it whole food, because nothing has altered it. It's just itself, by itself. Nothing added to it and nothing subtracted to it. No sugar added, no sugar subtracted. It's just on its own. So that's why we call it whole food. Then the next one, number two, is food that are minimally processed. So food that is altered a little bit. That's what that means. Food that is altered a little bit. That's number two. Number three, food that is very altered, processed food, bad food. If we can avoid it, we can avoid number three entirely. But if we can, depends on where we are at the point. If we're hungry, it's not advisable to congest, but if that's the only thing that is in the area where you are at the time, maybe when you're traveling or anything, once in a while, it's not bad, but we can avoid it completely. So let's talk about number one first, the whole food. Some of the examples of the whole food is raw granite, raw peanut. We call it granite, raw peanut, the red skin granite, the red skin peanuts. And another one is still cut oat. The coconut oat we have. Look at your label when you go to the store, what you buy. Still cut oat. I think they're more expensive, but it's a whole food. Then another one is potato. Just potato by itself. Oh my God, who's calling me? Let's decline this call. I don't know who's calling me at this time. So about that, guys. I don't know. Call just came into the phone that I'm using. So potato, the Irish potato is not altered. You guys know that Irish potato is not altered. So that's why it's called whole food. Then uh, so that's why it's called whole food. So I gave like three examples of whole food. Red skin granite that's never been altered. Still cut oatmeal. The still cut oatmeal, when you go to the store, it will be written on the box. Then potato, our Irish potato is example of raw food. Then also example of another whole food is lentil. You guys know that I taught that lentil beans yesterday. So lentil is one of the whole food, the one in the package, the one that has been cooked. So that's whole food. That is good for us. Then the chickpeas. You guys know the chickpea? The chickpea, I don't know if we have it in Nigeria. We should have chickpea in the north or somewhere. The one that's not in the can, the one that hasn't been altered, the one you pour on the pot and cook it yourself. Then another one is corn. Corn is not been altered. That corn that we bring from the farm and put it in the pot and cook. Those are all whole foods. And also brown rice, brown basmati rice. Those are also whole food. Those are all the choices you want to choose when you're trying to lose fat or lose belly fat. Belly fat is a problem. When we have a belly fat, that causes diabetics and all that. If you can do anything to lose your belly fat, that is the most important thing. So number two is the minimal processed food. And I will give you guys examples of that. Like the minimal processed food. So the lunches that I was talking about, you see the package that I showed. If you go back to my Facebook page, you will see that the packet that I showed that you will pour in a pot and cook it by ourselves all day. That's the most you want. You don't want the lentil beans in a can. Anything in the can is not the best. But if you are somewhere where that's the only thing you can eat, it's understandable. You know, don't choose it, but choose it when there's a situation. But if you're home and you have so many choices, you have stores around you, the lentil and the bag that you cook on your own in the pot is the best. So the other one is popcorn. Popcorn is minimally processed. So instead of you eating the popcorn that is in a bag that is minimal, I had some here, I already ate it. So instead of you eating that, eat the corn that you boil in the pot. That is whole food. And also the granite, the salted granite like I have here. This one is bad. This one is not granite, but it's cashew, but it's salted. So I rather have, if I wanted to have mine, I rather have it raw instead of having it with salt, roasted with salt. So any nut roasted with salt, just let that go. Then cornflakes, stay away from the cornflakes. Stay away from the cornflakes. It's minimally processed. Minimally processed. So the cocoa powder, deal with the cocoa, deal with the coconut instead of the cocoa powder that you use in cooking. Then the chickpeas is the one in the can. Don't use that. The one in the bag, in the raw bag, the one, the one that is dry that you have to cook in your pot. That is the best for your fat, for your belly fat. So number three is the one that is really bad. So number three is heavily processed food. You want to avoid this food completely if you really want your belly to be flat and you really want to be healthy and you really want to lose so much fat in you. You want to do this. You want to avoid this food that I'm going to be telling you. Instead of the brown rice, instead of the white rice, take take the brown rice over the white rice. So number three is white rice that is inclusive. Those are all heavily processed food. And hot chocolate, baked beans, like honey coated or chili coated granola, all those flavor coated granola. Those are heavily altered, and those are heavily processed. Avoid all that. Potato chips, potato chips. Instead of you eating the potato chips, go and take the Irish potato, peel it yourself and boil it. That's what makes it whole because it hasn't been altered. Nothing has been added and nothing has been taken out. So that's why we call it whole food. So instead of you taking the potato chips, you go ahead, you take the potato itself and, you know, um, um, clean it and boil it and eat it. That's healthier. So especially the heavy syruped food that we see in the store. I'll tell you right now, all this number three makes 5% of your nutrients. So there's nothing you gain from number three. Instead, they cause a lot of trouble. Number three cause a lot of trouble, like Rice Krispie, rice, you know, rice pudding, although those are all heavily altered. Those are all heavily altered and heavily it's preservative and sugar loaded. So if you look at it, choose number one, always. You can manage number two, anyone in the group of number two, when you are in an area where that is the only thing you, instead of you starving to death, that's the only thing you might have a choice of. But don't let it be a habit. If you know you're gonna lose some fat or lose your belly fat, not to run into being diabetic. That is very, very, very imperative. But like we always say, the raw it the raw it is, the faster it becomes. So like if you eat salad now, salad or leaf, lettuce, all those ones, if you eat those things, that takes about 30 minutes to an hour to digest. But if you eat any cooked food, at least I guarantee you 2 to 3 hours, you still be struggling. Some of them might just be sitting there. So that's why I don't mix cooked food with raw food. I always have a fruit in the office. Always have a fruit in the office. I already ate my orange, so this one I'll just skip for tomorrow. So with that, we all have to like try to help ourselves. I know some of the food might not be as pleasant as what we usually know, or what we usually we enjoy while we're back home or when we're younger, but it will help us in the long run by lowering our fats intake and reducing our belly fat also. I hope this helped. But if you like this video, or if you want me to, there's any topic you want me to come up with, you guys can always let me know in the comment section. Give it a like. Please give this video a like and share it and make comments. Let me know how the video is doing. I didn't share it to Facebook yet, but I will share it after I'm done. So guys, keep sharing this video to educate people. That's why we're here, just for health awareness. That's why we're here. So we all have to teach each other and be each other's keeper. Thank you all so much for coming in. Please keep giving it a like and make sure you share it out to any platform you wish, you know that is going to be helpful to anybody. And I hope this helped. Give it a like. Thank you all so much, and have a good day, everybody.